All right, you guys. Obviously, I don't know if you can tell, I have arranged my Cassandra Clare collection here in a very odd order. That's because I decided to force myself to rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite. So I'm going to expand on why each book is listed where it is. This one at the very end is like just a special edition of City of Bones, so like that's not real. But yeah, I'm just gonna get into it, okay? So my absolute least favorite book that I City of Ashes. There's a specific scene in here that people talk about as to what makes them stop reading her books, and I don't blame you. And yeah, but I still gave this 3 stars, and I still really liked all of the world building elements to it, and the reveals about Clary and Jace that weren't to do with their relationship. This one is at number 15. We're just going over the main series here, not including any of the novellas. So number 14 is City of Fallen Angels. This book feels like nothing really happens until the end, but the Mortal Instruments, like conclusions, like the 3rd and 6th books, you'll see. But like this really is kind of a filler book, and you can really, really feel it, in my opinion. Next, we have what I would consider probably one of the most unpopular opinions that I have, and that is that number 13 is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This was so little plot and so much character, and I see why the historical girlies ate it up. But for me, I want way more plot, which I think will be obvious the more we go on, at least when it comes to Cassandra Clare, because there are other authors that I can handle just characters. When it comes to Cassandra Clare and the plots that she's given me in the past, like, I'm here for the plot. Okay, then next kind of in the, I'm not sure where most people would rank this, but number 12 is going to be City of Bones, which is the very first book that introduced me to reading. And I can tell you for 100% certainty, if I never picked this book up, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So like, I have to give it that. But like, this obviously started my whole love for reading and fantasy. And like, I mean, I obviously had read some books before, but like this made me obsessed, like on a whole new level. Okay, then we have number 11, which I can't believe it's almost in the top 10, Chain of Thorns. This conclusion to her most recent series was definitely disappointing compared to other conclusions. Okay, but I still loved this compared to most other reviews that I've seen. Like, I still thought this was satisfying as a conclusion, and definitely there are certain things I didn't love the author doing at the end, but overall, it was still a satisfying conclusion in my opinion. Next, we've got Clockwork Prince. This I know is unpopular because most people think The Infernal Devices is her best work, and that's obviously not my opinion because I'm putting it at number 10, which is like closer to the bottom. But like, there is one chapter in this book that I will never forget reading. So like, there is that. And I still love this book more than most other books I've read, but it just couldn't quite edge out the rest, as you see. This next one, I know you're gonna come for me, but it's Clockwork Princess. Listen, the epilogue is some of the greatest I've ever read, and we love it and we stand, but like, I was here for Jim Carstairs. So like, I was a little bit upset just at like the trajectory of the series because I love me Jim Carstairs. He's like probably my all-time favorite Shadowhunter character. So besides Simon, yeah, this is number 9 because like it is fantastic and it is one of her best conclusions, but it just couldn't touch the rest. Then we've got number 8, City of Lost Souls, which is specifically here because of what happens with Magnus and Alec, which isn't good, but it is incredibly engaging as a reader. Like, just not, the characters are not doing things that I support or enjoy, but I love angst. And this book had a lot of gay angst. Number 7 is Lord of Shadows, and this is the second book in the Dark Artifices series. Like this, listen, she did some stuff here at the end that she was too scared to do in other series, like, and I absolutely commend her for that. But like, there's so many scenes in here that are just like, they're just like relying on your nostalgia for other series. Like, I couldn't put this too high, but I didn't want to put it too low. Like, I love this. This is all, the Dark Artifices is like overall probably my favorite series that she's written. It was good, but there was just too much nostalgia. Like, I feel like it was like, okay, but let's focus on these characters. Okay, then we've got number 6 with the Queen of Air and Darkness, which again, like, this is a good, satisfying conclusion, in my opinion. Like, but there is a lot of open threads left, but it makes sense because like, there's gonna be another series after this one. So like, but did it feel like a good, especially compared to like some of the other series that she has written, like maybe because she didn't know if she was going to get to continue on or not. This one, like she definitely knew she was going to get to continue on, so she didn't like fully tie everything together, but like especially a certain relationship that I really need to see in the Wicked Powers really, really bad. Really bad. But like still top 10. Okay, my number 5 is Chain of Thorns. Chain of Iron. Chain of Iron. Oh my God. The murder mystery mashup in this, the mystery, the romance, so good. It was so good. Okay, I gotta move on. I don't have much time left. Number 4, Lady Midnight, specifically just because of the way she did a certain twist in here that like blew my mind. Like did not see it coming at all. Number 3, we've got Clockwork Angel. So you know I do love the Infernal Devices, okay? And I love Jim. And we get so much Jim, Tessa, Will content in here that just feeds my soul. Like it was so good. And I feel like this is why this is my favorite book in this series, because I feel like we really get to see, and there's a specific line in here, quote in here that just like spoke to me on another level between Tessa and Jim. Immaculate. Okay, number 2 is City of Glass, and this is probably why The Mortal Instrument sits so high in my feelings, because I feel like this was such a phenomenal conclusion, because like she had threads she wanted to leave open, but like she obviously like, this was like the perfect conclusion, and obviously like I'm glad that it continued because like I love all of her books, but like this was gagging. Like this was so good, like especially the last like third, but also like, just like the whole book. I remember being so engaged and because it's so plot driven, and it just feels like our characters are like, there's nothing in their way. They're gonna go, they're gonna get it done, and I was absolutely here for it. Okay, and finally we have City of Heavenly Fire. Now that my entire shelf is empty, this is my favorite conclusion to probably any series at the moment. I'd have to think about that more, but like for sure, a Cassandra Clare series is my favorite conclusion. I just absolutely loved it. I ate it up. I remember listening to the audio for this. Like I remember where I was. Like this story is so good, and the specific character arc that we get, like for Simon, just immaculate. Like so good, so good. I love how this ties together the Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments, because like it just incredible. I don't know whose idea it was to like write like a series like in alternating order or whatever, but that was genius. Absolutely genius. Like it was like never been done before, totally unique, incredible, so good. Obviously it's my number 1 favorite Cassandra Clare book.